This is video 2, free content for professional football managers to think and feel differently. As you can see, the things that I've achieved in my life and against where I took my counsel from. That's why we have this above the clock, because of who we observed and who we took our counsel from. It's not always going to be about neurology. We will add commercial mindset, which is what we're going to do in video 2. Now, I can give you evidence along the way. I was sitting with a professional manager. We were in a hotel. But 1 hour, 10 minutes into the time we had together, he said he was going to have to go shortly, and I asked him where he was going. And he said he had to go up and meet the chairman of the football club for the first time. My automatic response was to shock his system and say, "No, that you're not." And he said, "Sorry?" I says, "I want you to slow time down and clear your mind, because I'm going to suggest something to you, and it's going to be 2 options you've got. If this is the first time you're going to meet the chairman, and you're going to turn up with a trackie on, with a trainers on, and you're going to go and sit in his house, how do you think he's going to view you when he watches you come out the car and you're walking up his drive or up to the front door, and he opens the door and says, 'Come on in', but he watches you with a tracksuit? So, but you've got an option 2. You turn up with a 3-piece suit on, but you'll have something under your arm. And if this is the first session, this is how you're going to frame this. But remember, you've got 2 options. You can turn up with a trackie if you want. But this is also not just to do what I've done with previous football managers. This is also to do with how I would be doing it. And as you walk into his house and he's pouring you a cup of tea, he's commenting how smart you look, but then he's asking what's under your arm. And you then turn around and tell him that you went to accounts to ask for the last 100 years P&Ls, and you've got the most successful year that they did commercially, with attendance, with every aspect of what you can measure in that football club. And you give him another piece of paper and you say, "My job is to go beyond that, because the last time I looked at the value of Manchester United when he took over to what it was when he left." But do you want to turn up with a trackie? You need to change your identity of how you think as a football manager. You are a brand. Don't think about a football manager. You are a brand who is going to have a legacy. So choice is yours. Tracksuit or the 3-piece suit with the accounts for historical data going back for the formation of the club. And the only year that you're interested in is the year of the biggest success in the P&L, but the global reach. And not only are we going to get you a global reach, we're going to change the financials of that football club and everybody else associated with it, because you're the driving force that's going to suggest, communicate, and be the example, even when you're at the side of the pitch. So you start thinking what the world is seeing in you. The guy with the trackie who's mouthing all the time, or the slick guy who quietens his mind and has a bigger perspective of how he's been measured. Hope you found that video useful and a way to change how you think and how you feel.